Good morning, good morning. How are we doing today? My name is Jennifer. Here we talk about everything, and in the background, you are hearing my babies running wild, enjoying their morning as the sun comes up. Listen. So, on my communities page, I have posted several videos that could take up your day. If you would like them to, it could even take up a couple days. I have one that's on there that's like, it would take 14 hours to watch the whole series. And if you want to take the time to do it, take the time to do it. If you don't want to take the time, don't take the time. Being able to watch it, you're getting the gist of what I'm trying to say. But as you watch it, you begin to understand. And today, I'm still cleaning my house. I have appointments to do, and I will be doing the studies of these. This isn't out of being mean. This is a reminder to everybody that God doesn't forget, and God sees everything. And this year is the year of reckoning. Just as we said, last year about this time, that come 2024, everybody can get hit. And everybody been getting hit that has caused human issues. So as these people are crying and suffering and hating the way that life is going, I watched a video earlier, and this could piss some people off, but it needs to be said, and I'm not the only one saying it. In fact, I started saying it, and then I started seeing other people, and I was like, okay, I'm not so off the grid then. Because I was like, that's pretty funny that these people are getting on the news, and they're just, help us, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, how many times did people say that to you, and you beat them instead? How many times did people say that to you, and it was more important for your pockets to be fed? So I'm not really feeling sorry for the South right now. The fact that it's named Helene, well, Helen is my grandmother's name. She was an Aquarius, and if she has died, that would mean that she has flipped to the other side and could possibly have goodness in her. I can tell you that before whatever happened to her to make her a mean person, her and my grandfather did help with slavery. My grandfather's family, the Hills, helped more. Like, my grandmother walked in and on it, and my grandfather's family was already in on it. That's the easiest way I know how to explain that one. For me, it was like Heaven, Yvonne, Luth, Yvonne, Newberry, Yvonne. I took it personal. That's my life right there. That's all of me in one step. Here you go, motherfuckers. This is what you get for fucking with me and my ancestors. They tried to say that this hurricane was man-made. Holy shit, if it was man-made, I'd hate to be sitting in that motherfucker's boat right now. These places are ripped. And I just think back about how many men and women broke their backs. Put this down. Did without, lost their lives, lost their kids, lost their wives and their husbands and their brothers and their sisters and even family members. They never got to have time. They never got to even know what it was like to be rich. For sometimes generations. And there's some generations of the slaves that are still in poverty. And it's like the government wants to keep them there. And the funniest part about it is you wouldn't have any of the shit that you have if it weren't for the motherfuckers you keep enslaving. And the saddest part is that if you didn't enslave these motherfuckers, we would be in a better position than we are right now. And I don't feel sorry for a single person going through what they're going through. They said the body bag count in Asheville is so bad, the stench, it stinks. There's so many bodies that it stinks in Asheville. And I'm like, didn't it stink when you were holding up the hostages of the slaves that didn't want to listen to you? They wanted to build their own lives. But you felt like it was more important for your life to be than it was for others. And you tell me that slavery does not exist right now. But I'm telling you that it absolutely does exist. Aren't we in the middle of a port strike where the owner of the trade made a $4 billion Christmas bonus for himself, 555. And there are people on his team that have to work more than one job or tell their kids they can't have something. That's slavery. I don't give a fuck how you look at it. So as far as I'm concerned, it still fucking exists, no matter how many different ways you want to turn your head or call it a name. It still exists. And until you guys fix this shit, God's going to come in and rip your goddamn worlds apart. And those of us over here that, and you're like, but, there are. And I bet that the black motherfuckers, most of them that were affected by the slavery, they're not as affected. And if they are, there's a reason why. It has to do with their ancestors. But for the most part, the people that got messed up the most confirmation. Check how you treated people. Check how your ancestors treated people. Then if you feel like you have a right to bitch about what you lost, come talk to me. Make it a known. Otherwise, if you're sitting in Georgia, Florida, North, South Carolina, or Virginia, and you think that you have any right to say anything about what you lost, I want you to remind yourself how much the people before you lost that weren't even related to you or had anything to do with anything that you got or were even able to smile, sitting in the places that they built, eating the food that they were forced to make. I want you to remember that. And as you remember that, I want you to remember my big, fat, peachy ass sitting on your dinner plate. It's black, by the way, and green, and yellow, and all different other colors. So pick a shade, any one will count, and kiss it. And remember, this is the year of reckoning. And slavery needs to stop, or you're going to have to start the entire world all over again if you don't get the goddamn script correct. I send you so much love. I really do. This is really about love. You are not going to continue to enslave people and then let them think that they're not good enough to be rewarded for their efforts. God's taking care of that for us. You fucked with the wrong motherfuckers. What you did was wrong. What you're doing is wrong. And if you can tell me that it doesn't exist, oh, that was my ancestors, that wasn't me, that was my aunt. Are you still paying people to clean your fucking house and do your biddings that you wouldn't do yourself, and not giving them enough to be able to live in the same kind of lifestyle that you live? That is slavery on all counts. So I don't feel sorry for you, and no, I'm not going to become a volunteer for you. And I can bring up Tennessee too. I think, as a matter of fact, I forgot about Tennessee. You did it too. 10:00 as I say that. 100% God says. You see, that railroad went right through Tennessee. It went right through my old town. Sure did. Went right through my old town. And what you guys did to me, I'll never forget. I had to go my kids' entire childhood without them so that you could enslave them and make them feel like their mother wasn't worthy enough to be somebody special to them, because it was more important for them to wash your clothes, watch your kids, and make you feel good instead of themselves or having a mom. So for Tennessee, I don't feel sorry for you either. It's gotten to about Oak Ridge, isn't it? Yeah, here in about a day or so, it'll start hitting Crossville, but River start feeling it. I don't feel sorry for you. I'm not going to come and help you. And you can get mad at me if you want to. Guess you should have thought about that shit before you took my kids 15 years ago and thought that you doing drugs is more important than them getting a mom. And it's the same thing with all these North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Florida. It's more important for you to get a dozen than it is for somebody to get some loving. No, motherfuckers, that ain't how it works. Go get you some God. You need it.